Hello everyone, my name is Raymond, also known as Rayvision, and welcome back to another top 10 list. This week we're in Forza Horizon 3, and we're going to be counting down the top 10 wheelie cars. Now before we get started, I just have a few things I'd like to say. First off, the next top 10 list will be the top 10 DLC cars in Forza Horizon 3. So, please let me know what cars you think should be on that list in the comments down below. I would appreciate your input very much. And if you see someone's already mentioned a car, like that comment and then add another car. Don't just spam the same car, because that's what happens half the time. All that having been said, moving on to the top 10 list. So here are a few things that you really need to know. So to decide what cars were on this list, I took into account mainly three things. The ease of wheelie, its ability to maintain the wheelie over a certain distance or period of time, and then how entertaining it is versus seeing a giant car versus a small car versus some other car doing a wheelie. What's the entertainment value? So these are the three factors that I had in mind when I went and made this list. All this having been said, all the tunes for these cars I did not make. What I did is I simply went into the tuning marketplace, whatever you call it, and I wrote wheelie in the description and I looked for the first 5-star tune I would find, and I used that. Because I myself am useless at making wheelie tunes, obviously, pretty much useless at everything anyway. So, all that having been said, let's get started. Now at number 10, you can say hello to the 1973 Porsche 911 Carrera RS. Now, this car, as far as getting it to wheelie, it's not super easy to get going, and once you get it going, because of how far the rear bumper goes, you can't really get it to go that high. So as far as wheelie goes, it's not that impressive. It's not the hardest one to pull off, but it's not the most satisfying one to pull off, and as a result, it is stuck at number 10, but it can still do a wheelie, so it deserves a spot on this list. Now at number 9, we have something, and no, I know what you're thinking, it is not in a ditch, it is the Jeep Renegade, and I was driving it, and pulling off a wheelie in this thing, well, it's not as difficult, or not, it's really weird, because the suspension, unlike a lot of the other wheelie cars, has so much free room to play with, that you're a bit uncertain as when to brake and when to gas, but it's super bouncy naturally, so it feels like it's easy to wheelie. So it's just special. It doesn't feel like any of the other wheelie cars. It's also four-wheel drive, but it does succeed to do it. It's just not that impressive when it does, which is why it is at number 9. Welcome to number 8. Now, keep in mind that a lot of these cars are placed where they are based on my personal bias and my experiences with the cars. And this is why we have the Peugeot here, the 205 T16, and it is really, really good. Once you get it going, it is very strong, and it's good to keep going, but it is a little bit of a struggle to start, and that's the case for a lot of the higher cars up on this list. They are struggles to get going, and the reward's not that big. But the Peugeot has a big wheelie. The only struggle I found with it was getting it going. Once you get it going, enjoy. Like, you can go through the dunes and you won't have any problems, as you can clearly see here. Now at number 7, we have the Ariel Nomad. Now, before you get mad and be saying, Raymond, this car's so good, it should be higher on the list, I totally agree with you. The reward of seeing the Nomad wheelie is pretty good. That being said, it is a high skill cap thing, or at least in my experience it is, because I struggled a lot getting this car up, and I wasn't able to duplicate what I've seen many other people doing, which is a cool thing you can do with the Nomad, is you can actually get it to rest in wheelie position without holding anything. It'll just stay there, which is awesome, but it takes a lot more skill, and that is why this car is so high on the list. Now at number 6, we have something which is sort of difficult to get going, but is kind of cool because it's the only one to do a nose wheelie. And by that I mean on the front wheels, and that is the 2015 Baldwin Motorsport number 97 Monster Energy Trophy Truck. That's a mouthful. Basically, at the place of doing a wheelie forwards, this one goes backwards, and it's fun because you can actually use your steering while wheeling. It's sort of difficult. I didn't really get it to do anything fancy, but you get a bit more control, and I feel like you could have a lot more fun with that, and as a result, it is at number 6 on this list. Now at number 5, we have what probably is the easiest car in the game to wheelie without exception. This is the Isetta bubble car, and that is why it is at number 5. While the wheelie takeoff isn't the greatest, I mean, by takeoff, I mean like it goes basically vertical, but it's not the most satisfying car to see wheelie. It is nonetheless fun, easy to do, so if you are trying to learn how to wheelie cars, I recommend try out the Isetta bubble car. Of course you won't get it first try, but with some practice, I'm sure even you can get this one to lift up its front wheels. Welcome to number 4, and the competition is getting fierce. The reason why this one's so far high up on the list should be evident, and the reason why is it's a frickin' Gurkha. Who would have thought that a goddamn tank could pop a wheelie? I didn't. When I saw it the first time happen in one of my lobbies, I was like, oh wait, I'm sorry, what just happened? And respectively so, it is deserving of a spot on this list. Not only of a spot, the 4th position more specifically, because see a Gurkha do a wheelie, well, I'm gonna be honest, that's pretty darn satisfying, and not something you see every day. Now at number 3, we have the Renault 5 Turbo, and why is this car at number 3? Well, first off, it's pretty easy to get going, not as easy as the Isetta, and once you get going, literally all you have to do is hold the gas, and this car will just hold a wheelie. Like, literally hold a wheelie. It does not care what's happening, it'll just do it, because why the hell not? And that's kind of fun to me. I really like that about the car. And let's just be honest, it's just fun to be able to pop one like that and just be like, yo, what's up? Look at me! At number 2, we have a personal favorite of mine. Of all the wheelie cars, I had a lot of fun with this one. And I think it's really good. And that is the Ariel Atom. First off, oh yes. The reason why I'm such a big fan of it is you can pop, depending on the tune that I found, I was able to pop wheelies in 4th gear. And not only can you pop a wheelie from basically a standstill, you can also come in from like a speed of 80 or 100, slam on the brakes, and then start wheeling from like 100 miles per hour, and then just wheelie all the way up to 140, which is really cool. Not only that, and I was only able to pull this off once or twice, only once while I was recording, but with a little bit of practice, I think you could get really good at it, and that's feathering the throttle. You can probably get that Ariel Atom to stay at the same angle without scraping the bottom while you're accelerating for the entirety of that gear, which I think you could pull off a really sweet and long wheelie with that. I'm just thinking, and I'm sure some people can do it, I'm just not good enough, but for that reason, the Ariel Atom is number 2. Welcome to number 1, and the reason why the Ariel Atom was in first place, basically you all told me in the comments that this car needed to make this list, and let's be honest, I kind of had to agree because there is no other more iconic wheelie car in Forza Horizon 3, at least in my opinion, than the Myers-Manx, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, as per usual, please kill me in the comments down below, but there is one reason that I found why this car should be number 1, and I know other cars can do this, but considering my lack of skill and the fact that I was able to do it with this car explains to me that it's the easiest car to do this with is Beyblade. Well guys, that's going to be it for today's top 10 list. I hope you did enjoy. It took me quite a while actually to test these wheelie cars and actually get decent at wheeling because I didn't know how to do it before, but now I do. That having been said, as usual, please check out my social media. Links are in the description down below. Please follow me on Instagram, Twitter, as well as follow me on Twitch for whenever I live stream, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's always nice. Just a reminder, the next top 10 list will be the top 10 DLC cars in Forza Horizon 3, so please leave your recommendations in the comments down below. My name has been Raymond. I've been your host for today, and I will be seeing you all in the next one.